All right, so hopefully y'all can kind of see in here with me. These are my big beef tomatoes. You can see they're starting to grow some tomatoes. I'm pretty excited about that. And I don't know. It's probably like 3 or 4 weeks away before they'll actually be ready. Now you can see how this guy, he's already been trimmed up a little bit. You can see where we cut leaves off of here and the sucker from right there. So I clean up all the foliage on the bottom of the plant up until the first fruit set, and this just really frees up airflow around the bottom of the plants to help prevent diseases and pests, because the pests are all going to hide under like bushy leaves. You know, if there's nowhere for them to hide, then you're eliminating all the pests. And then so I'm gonna leave like all these like leaves. I want these to be able to shade the lower fruit, because otherwise they'll get sun scald if they get direct sunlight, just like humans get sunburnt. Your fruit can get sunburnt, so you want the leaves above the tomatoes to shade them so they don't get sun scalded. But then once you harvest those tomatoes, then I'll continue to trim the leaves all the way up the plant, and we'll just keep trimming it up until we hit the bottom fruits all season long. And then these tomato vines are indeterminate, so they'll be about 30-40 feet by the end of the season. And you know, I hope you'll continue to watch as we progress, and I'll show you how we end up lower and leaning these, and we'll just drag the vines across the ground while they grow all the way up to the top. But then we're going to continue to cut these suckers off. So this is a big overgrown sucker right here. So you can see how this is the main stem of the plant right here, and then this is what we call a sucker, which would be another tomato plant, and then it grows more suckers and leaves. And I don't want those, because that makes it really hard to manage. Your plant's just gonna like grow everywhere. But you could take this, stick that in water, and then that'll grow roots, and then this will be another tomato plant. So if you wanted more tomato plants, you can do that. But I got tomato plants coming out my ears, and I'm not interested in saving suckers right now, so these just go to the compost for me. So I got my bucket right here, and I just throw all the clippings right in my bucket, and I just move right up the plant, and I cut off all the little suckers. And I'm not going to be very aggressive with the leaves today, because we already have pruned the lower leaves up to the bottom fruit set. So I'm really just pruning off these suckers today. And then if they're not so big, like those ones I just showed you, the ones I just showed you that I cut off were like pretty big. But like, you know, typically what you want is like just little tiny suckers, and I can just like pinch them off basically. So see how I just kind of pinch that one off, and like that's how you want to cut them. So I don't actually like need the shears. I just like pick it off, and they come off really easy when you get them small. But if they get too big, you don't want to tear it, because you want to have like minimal air exposure to the plant so that like pathogens can't get in there. Because when you cut it, that leaves a wound, just like a human. You get a cut and you can get an infection. When you cut a plant open like that, you're giving it a wound, so it could potentially get pathogens into the plant through that. So the smaller the wound, the less room for pathogens to enter. So if you can get them when they're really small and just pick them off like that, that's the most ideal way to take your suckers off rather than cut them. But these are really overgrown. I'm gonna have a lot of cutting to do ahead of me today, and that's okay. This is part of it. I mean, this is like 5 days since we last did this, so I mean, they get big fast. I mean, it's something you got to do kind of every couple of days. So then you can see like this is my wire that hangs down from the Qliper system, and my donut is right here. Can you see that? I'll show you. I'm just gonna take it off. And like this is like a problem area, kind of like, because my fruit set's right there, so I don't want to like knock it off. I gotta try to get that clip off the best I can without knocking the tomatoes off. And like the clips, these tomato stems are so fat that it's hard to get the clips off. Okay. So then I remove the clip from the plant. Now I'm just holding the plant up with my hand, so you can see the whole thing would fall if I dropped it. And then here's my wire hanging from the top. Are you still using QuickBooks for your farm's bookkeeping? You're definitely wasting time and losing money. I use QuickBooks and it was a nightmare. Categorizing expenses for Schedule F was confusing. I knew I was missing out on tax deductions and USDA grant funding. That's when I found FarmRaise. It's built just for farmers. It automatically tracks expenses, categorizes deductions, and even sends alerts for USDA grants so you don't miss out on free money for your farm. Right now, you can get 20% off with my discount code CHEFM20. Stop wasting time and losing money. Go over to farmraise.com right now, sign up today, and start your farm season off smarter, not harder. And I'm just holding the plant up, and then I'm just gonna move the clip up the plant, basically, right? You can see I got another big sucker right there. We'll take care of that in a second because I'm just holding it up with my free hands. And then the wire kind of moves around freely, so I can put this wherever I want it. So I don't have, like in the past, I grew from a string all the way up to the top, but the string is fixed, right? So I can't like move it all over like this. So I can kind of put the wire where I want it, where it makes the most sense. Up here where the plant is more narrow. And again, I'm putting it near a fruit set, so it's kind of dangerous, but it's really the best place on this plant for right now. And then it just clips on like that. And now this is holding the whole plant up, but it's only got one clip. So I like to have 2 clips per plant. And these guys weren't big enough the last time I installed these, so I'm just going to install the second clips on this plant, and then I'm done for the year. I only put 2 clips per plant, and then I just come in every week and I just move them up the plant and lower the plant down and lean it that way. So we'll put this guy kind of here. Okay, and so I got my 2 clips right there, just holding the plant up, hanging from the wire, and that's it. And now this guy's here. I can move him forward, I can move him backward if needed, just like moving a clothes rack in your closet, basically, and it's as simple as that. So now I'll just set up the camera. I'll show you how I shimmy down the whole bed. It's always important that I have something like this. I've also used like aprons with pockets in the front. Anything like that is sufficient. Just, you know, kind of something to keep your tools like right here, so you can work efficiently and grab or put back whatever you need. So sometimes I'm like, we're using these clips to like, for like the Qliper system where we tie the string, and then these clips pinch the string right there, and then that can go around the tomato, and then you clip that in, and this is what holds it up until we get to either the trellis netting or to the Qliper system wire. And then once we get past the string, then I use these donuts, right? So this is what the Qliper donuts look like, and so this part goes around the plant, and then that part like squeezes the wire, and then it holds it on place. You see what I'm saying? And then that's what holds the plant up using this, and you can move these up the plant. And then I bring my bucket, so like I'm constantly pulling off like lower leaves and cleaning those up for airflow and pulling off the suckers. So I just bring my bucket with me, so basically I can prune like this, you know, and trim off my suckers right into my bucket that's right below me. I got my pouch here so I can stick it in, and then I got my clips right here and my shears right here basically.